Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It's a very warm welcome from Aquatic Ballpark. The sun is out. The clouds have passed over somewhat, and we're about to get underway here in the second grade game between the Central Coast Marlins and your Manly Eagles. And Mitchell Pearce leading off for the Marlins, grounds the ball into left field. And just like that, the Marlins are on the bases. So batting with the man aboard will be the left-handed hitting shortstop, Jack Stevenson. And starting on the mound for the Manly Eagles is number 22, Adam Brown. And that pitch just missing down for ball one. We'll bring you full lineups at the end of this top of the first inning. Big welcome to all our viewers live and exclusive on EBSN. Stevenson ahead, 2 balls and no strikes here. This is a replay of last year's second grade championship game. The Marlins getting the job done in the major semi-final, with the Eagles winning the championship game earlier this year in March. Two sides met 5 weeks ago up on the Central Coast with a 7-7 draw, the result of the first rematch. So the Eagles back at home today, looking to get the edge over their rivals from up the coast, as Jack Stevenson attempts to bunt, but bunts foul, and that will even the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Trent Nickel ready for that, playing in at third base, charging when he saw the square around. It is Pink Hope Ladies' Day here at the ballpark today. We'll be speaking to a couple of the ambassadors throughout the second grade game and first grade. All the Manly players wearing pink hats in support of Pink Hope. We do a lot of work for breast cancer and ovarian cancer research and awareness. As that curveball is hit to the zone at shortstop, touches the base for 1, over to Roberts at 2, and that'll be the first 2 outs of the top of the first inning. Curveball there just rolled over by Jack Stevenson. Room service bounce for Zorn at second base, and the big toss across to Roberts at first nullifies the first pitch single by Mitchell Pearce, and the bases will be empty. For the second baseman, Jay Andrews. And Jay Andrews lifts that ball over into right field. Chris Corey with the beat. Makes the catch, and that will end the top of the first. No runs by the Marlins. 3 up, 3 down. It'll be Brad Zorn, Adam O'Neill, and Ben Sutton to lead things off in the bottom of the first inning. Central Coast lineup to get things started here. Mitchell Pearce, as you saw, lead things off with the first pitch single into left field. He'll play centre field. Jack Stevenson at shortstop. Jay Andrews at second base. David O'Keefe hitting in the 4-hole, playing first base. Sam Preller at right field. Parker Robinson playing third base, hitting 6th. Dan Willings doing the catching. Chris Goss, the pitcher, hitting for himself this afternoon. Flynn Kahn rounding out the 9 in left field. And the Manly lineup Brad Zorn lead things off for the Manly Eagles. Adam O'Neill elevated to the 2-hole, playing centre field. Ben Sutton doing the designated hitting. Ash Roberts playing first base in the clean-up hole. Leo Matsuo at left field. Kazu Maeda doing the catching. Chris Hurley playing second base. Chris Corey, the manager, and right field. And Trent Nickel, third baseman, in the 9-hole, with Adam Brown, number 22, with the pitching duties on top of the mound this afternoon. It's been an up and down season for the Eagles so far, currently sporting a 4-win, 3-loss and 1-draw record. That draw, of course, coming against the Central Coast 4 weeks ago, up on the coast. Full Saturday round at Baseball Park. So Brad Zorn will lead things off here in the bottom of the first. Five games for Zorny so far, hitting .375. 6 hits through 16 at-bats with 3 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 3 walks, and he takes ball 1 there from Chris Goss to get things started. The ball picked nicely by the Central Coast third baseman, who throws it across the diamond for the first out of the inning. Adam O'Neill steps in with 1 out. Manly Eagles centre fielder, splitting his time between first grade and second grade so far this year. Only 3 appearances in second grade. Also hitting .375 with 3 for 8. And he takes the first 2 pitches from Chris Goss for strikes. Behind Quickly's no balls and 2 strikes. 2 runs scored for Adam with a double. That's all the action he has seen in his limited time in second grade so far this season. As he fouls that 0-2 pitch. Keeping his at-bat alive. Looking to go deep into this count. And lead things off for the Eagles here with 1 out. That ball just down and in for O'Neill. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Two and 2. As Adam just asked for time. Break up the rhythm of the Central Coast pitcher. And that pitch is down for ball 3, so Adam working the count full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Adam lifts that ball over the right field. Sam Prella tracking it, makes the catch, and that's the second out of the inning. So Ben Sutton steps in with 2 out here in the bottom of the first. Designated hitter duties this afternoon, and he takes a called strike to get his at-bat started. 9 for 20 on the season with a 450 average through his 8 games played. 4 runs scored with a double and a home run which he hit against the Central Coast up there at Baseball Park. And this ball is hit foul into the first base side foul territory area, and he's also behind no balls and 2 strikes. So the 0-2 pitch here coming here from Goss. Checks in for his signal from his catch-up. And that ball down in the dirt. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 curveball hit out of reach of the diving Jack Stevenson at shortstop, and Ben Sutton will be aboard with a single into left field. 2 out single for Suts. Keeps this inning going for the Eagles. So Ash Roberts will step in. Two out and a runner on first for the first baseman, who hits the ball to the shortstop. Stevenson this time able to reel it in. Fires across the diamond to his first baseman, and Ash Roberts is retired on the first pitch he sees. And that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. After 1 inning complete, both teams yet to hit the scoreboard on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. Nil-nil after the first inning. Are you hankering for niche service providers for your vehicle's varied mechanical care? You don't need to search each player for your vehicle's mechanical repairing need. Procar Automotive are the one-stop solution for all your mechanical repair services and have been servicing the Northern Beaches for over 30 years. Procar provide all mechanical services at the sprawling new centre, equipped with the latest tools and modern amenities. Come down to Middleton Road, Cromer, and say hello to John and the team at Procar, and they'll look after you. First baseman Dave O'Keefe steps in for the Marlins. He'll get the top of the second underway for the Central Coast Marlins. And he'll lift that first pitch into left field. Matsura running all the way to the fence to pick it up. He'll pick it up from the base of the fence. Throw it into Brad Zorn, cutting him off. And he will be in with a first pitch double into left field. So Sam Prilla, the right fielder, takes the first pitch from Adam Brown down for ball one. And he's ahead 1 ball and no strikes. And the ground ball through the hole in the left side of the diamonds. Cleaned up by Matsuo in left field. And the Marlins are well underway here. Runners at first and third with none out. Parker Robinson now for the Marlins, batting with none out. Check over at first base. Close call, but field umpire Keith Lehman said he was back in time. And the first pitch in for a called strike one. Brown getting in early. First appearance for Parker Robinson in second grade for the Marlins. Offensively, has thrown 3 innings as a pitcher, but his first at bat today. As Adam Brown fires in the 0-1 pitch, missing just down for ball one. 1 ball and 1 strike. Parker Robinson 6 for 21 through his 27 games played, sporting a 286 batting average with 6 runs scored, 3 RBIs, 2 walks and 7 strikeouts, all coming in the under 18 competition. Another close call over at first base. Perella just back in time. And the curveball from Brown in for strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes now for Brown. Another pick off attempt. Keeping Perella close at first base. Perella 0 for 1 in stolen bases in second grade. Two and 2 now for Parker Robinson. Adam Brown looking to record his first out of this inning. Gets the curveball, hit down to Zorn. Flips to Hurley for 1. Over to first for 2, but not in time. Parker Robinson will be aboard on the fielder's choice with an RBI. And the Central Coast Marlins are on the board here in the top of the second inning. Chris Hurley just not quick enough to get the throw over to Ash Roberts at first base, and Parker Robinson will be aboard. Dan Willings now the catcher, pokes at the first pitch he sees. Ash Roberts runs all the way to the fence, but won't have a play on it, and that'll get out of play for a first strike foul. Ash Roberts just dropping that ball. Keith Lehman came in to punch him out before realising the ball came out of the glove. So they would have had Robinson out at first base then, but the ball just not sticking in the glove of Roberts. So the Marlins dodge a bullet there. Ground ball hit to Zorn at shortstop. Hurley to 1. Won't be in time for 2. The ball just not getting to Zorn in time, holding up in the grass in the infield. But it will be another out at second base. Another fielder's choice. And Parker Robinson will be retired at second base. Dan Willings taking his place at first base. 2 out. Come to the pitcher, Chris Goss. And he swings at the first pitch from Adam Brown for strike 1. No balls and a strike. Chris Goss swings at that pitch and he's quickly behind. No balls and 2 strikes. Another check over at first on Robinson. Willings rather, the catcher. Chris Goss behind, no balls and 2 strikes. And that ball just up. Not quite breaking as much as Addison Brown wanted. But still the count in his favour. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Goss gets onto that one. It's going to fall just in front of the oncoming centre fielder in Adam O'Neill. It'll be a 2-8 single for Chris Goss. So the 9-hole hitter for the Marlins, Flynn Khan. And he'll take the first pitch to Zorn. At shortstop, he'll flip it up to Hurley. And 3 fielders' choices to the shortstop will be the outs in this inning. But the Marlins get a run. They take an early 1-0 lead. But the Eagles will be coming up with Leo Matsuo, Kazu Maeda and Chris Hurley in the bottom of the second inning. Leo Matsuo takes a first pitch strike from Chris Goss, getting underway the bottom of the second inning. The second pitch is up for ball one, so a ball and a strike for Matsuo. As he fouls off the 1-1 to the back screen. Leo 4 for 15 with a 267 average through 5 appearances. 1 triple, 5 RBIs, and 2 strikeouts on the season, and that'll be number 3. So the catcher, Kazu Maeda, steps up. He takes Chris Goss's first offering for a called strike. Swings and misses at the 0-1 pitch. Quickly behind, no balls and 2 strikes. Kazu 250 on the season, 3 for 12 with the run. And an RBI, as well as 2 walks and 4 strikeouts. Kazu hanging tough, fouled off back-to-back pitches now. Some good 2 strike hitting from Maeda. Looks like a couple of those foul balls have knocked our camera around. See a bit of a fencing there in the corner, so we'll get that fixed at some point. As the 0-2 pitch is down and inside, so a ball and 2 strikes. And that pitch is up. Evens the count, 2 balls and 2 strikes for the young catcher. And that ball down in the dirt for strike 3. So Maeda down on strikes. 2 quick outs here for Chris Goss in the bottom of the second. So Chris Hurley bats with 2 out. Chris Goss gets his 3rd consecutive first pitch strike in this inning. Hurley fouls off the 0-1 pitch. Is behind 0-2. Batting 143 so far in second grade with 1 hit from his 7 at-bats. 2 runs scored and 3 strikeouts. That ball up, but on the corner. Strike 3. Home plate umpire rings him up. And that's a quick 1-2-3 inning for Chris Goss and the Marlins. And after the second inning, Central Coast 1 lead the Manly Eagles 0 on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. David Wholesale Meats is a traditional butcher shop. First shop opened in 1976. The Driver family have worked hard to keep Devitt's reputation for quality, service and value, and have a large staff of fully qualified butchers. Butchery is a craft and cooking is a passion, and the two go hand in hand. The team are awesome, friendly, knowledgeable, and very talented, and are invested in making sure you are completely happy with your purchase and feel a genuine responsibility to the discerning community and are the gateway from the farm to the table. For your next barbecue, make sure you go see Devitt Meats down at Narrabeen, and they'll certainly look after you the way they look after us. So the Marlins have turned their line-up over, and it's going to be the centre fielder, Mitchell Pearce. And he'll take for the first pitch in for strike one. Squares and offers at the second pitch, but can't make contact. And he's behind 0-2. Top of the third inning here. 2.25 hour timed games. And the curveball is up and away, just missing the outside corner for ball one. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Fouls that one off. Keep his at bat alive. Five games to Pearce for the Marlins in second grade. 4 for 16. 250 average as he leaves that ball down. So 2-2 here for Pearce. As he check swings, fouls it off, and stays alive. 4 runs scored for Pearce with an RBI, a walk, and 5 strikeouts. And he has the 2-2 pitch coming here from Adam Brown. Don't forget you can follow the play-by-play live on Game Changer. All State League games are recorded on Game Changer, whether live or at the end of the game. So you can find all the stats, as well as live play-by-play action. If you're not sure what's going on or you want to find out what happened in a particular game, it's all up there. Just look up the Manly Eagles State League. First, second, third grade and under 18s. Follow all the teams individually and you'll be alerted when the games are starting. As Mitchell Pearce strikes out. First out of this top of the third inning. So it'll be the one-time man, the Eagle, Jack Stevenson, stepping in. He'll take the first pitch from Adam Brown for a called strike. You see a ball on the outside corner. Only the one hit from 22 at bat so far this season. That ball grounded straight back to Brown. Catches it nonchalantly, tosses it over to first, and that'll be the second out of the inning. Nice reaction there by Brown on the mound. Self-preservation sometimes. So 2 out. Brown getting through the top of the order. With the second baseman. Jay Andrews for the Marlins here. He receives a called first strike. That ball up for ball one. 1 ball and a strike. So a ball and two and a start again. A ball and a strike for Andrews here. Brown delivering the 1-1 down in the dirt and back to the screen. Andrews 10 for 20 on the season through 8 games. Currently leading the hitty for the Marlins second grade side. 6 runs scored and 2 doubles. 5 walks. So good plate patience. As well as 2 hit by pitches and 4 strikeouts. And that pitch inside for strike 2. Nice looping curveball. Brown even in the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Just missing down for the third ball of this at bat. Andrews fills it up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. So the full count pitch here from Brown. Andrews making him work for it here. Fastball, but fouled off, extending his at bat. Brown 42 pitches so far through his 2 2/3 inning of work. We'll be hoping to shut it down right here with this pitch. The full count pitch to the second baseman, Jay Andrews. And there it is, a ground ball. Hit to Zorn, takes it on the backhand, clean pick. In the dirt, Andrews not quite hustling up to first, may have done himself an injury. But that'll be the third out of the inning. Nice clean work by Brad Zorn. The Aquatic bounce not beating him on that occasion. And the Eagles will come up to bat in the bottom half of the inning with Chris Corey, Trent Nickel and Brad Zorn due up. going to be the Eagles manager, Chris Corey, to lead things off here today. Starting in right field with a couple of players missing. And Chris will take the first two offerings from Marlins pitcher Chris Goss for a ball. Had 2 balls and no strikes. And Goss comes back with a strike there. 2 balls, 1 strike. That pitch missing. So Corey ahead. 3 balls and 1 strike. Bottom of the third here for the Eagles, trailing 1-0 against the Marlins. And he will draw the walk. The skipper showing everyone how to get the job done here. Now Chris Fenari without an official at-bat in 2 plate appearances so far. Hit by pitch in his first one earlier in the season and a walk here. It'll be the third baseman hitting in the nigh hole, Trent Nickel. He and Adam O'Neill swapping spots in the lineup today. Chris Corey trying to change things up a little bit. As Chris Corey's going to get picked off at first base, gets underneath the tag. But he's going to say he got the tag on. Definitely got underneath it from our vision here on this side. Be interesting to check the replay on that one. Fortunately, our camera not able to get that in time, so we won't be able to go to the replay. New York won't be called upon on this occasion, so it's going to be 1 out here. And Chris Cross comes back with a called strike on Trent Nickel, 1 ball and 1 strike. Another called strike there for Nickel, so he's now behind, a ball and 2 strikes. Fouling that one off, keeping his at bat alive. Cue shot off the end of the bat, fouls it off into the Marlins ball dugout. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sorry, 1 ball and 2 strikes for Nickel. Just the 2 hits from 17 at-bats this season. Scored 4 runs with 4 RBIs. Patient at the plate with 5 walks. Also 3 hit by pitches and only the 1 strikeout. So plenty of contacts from Trent. As he fouls that one off again. Going deep into this count. Ball and 2 strikes for Nickel here. Batting with 1 out in the bottom of the 3rd inning. And he will strike out on this occasion. Chris Goss getting the job done. So it'll be 2 away for the Eagles. But they will turn the lineup over. will go back to Brad Zorn at the top of the order, the shortstop for the Eagles. Grounded out in his first at bat in the first inning. And he'll take a pitch inside for ball one to get his at bat started here. One-0 pitch in for strike one, so a ball and a strike. That pitch just missing down for ball two. So Brad working the count into his favour. 2 balls, 1 strike here for the shortstop. Looking to get something happening here in the bottom of the third inning for the Eagles. And that one also down, so 3-1, well and truly in his favour here. And that'll be ball 4 for Brad, so base on balls. So with 2 out, it'll be the centre fielder Adam O'Neill. Brad Zorn standing on first base. And the curveball from Goss getting in for strike one. And he hits that border. Stevenson is short. Goes to short way to second base for the out. Zorn will be retired over there, and that'll be the 3rd out of the inning. So after 3 complete, Central Coast 1, Manly 0. Founded on a simple principle, Black Label Fitness only ever had one mission: make, exercise, and experience. Black Label Fitness are the new kids on the block to make sure that happens. So forget the boring, monotonous workouts or plodding along on a treadmill. Exercise should never be a chore. Our trainers are born leaders and have an uncanny ability to inspire, motivate, and educate, and they all have a great sense of humour, leaving you with the feeling that you can take over the world after every single session. So if you're looking to make a change in your fitness regime or feel as if you need some motivation, come down to the gym at Warriewood and say hello to Adam and the crew, because they don't bite and they'll be thrilled to get you on board. Defensive changes for the Manly Eagles in the top of the fourth. Mikey Amir comes in for Chris Corey, and he moves from right field to third base, with Trent Nickel moving from third base to right field. And Zach Newbold will come into play second base in replace of Chris Curley. And Adam Brown gets things started with the ball. So the Marlins first baseman Dave O'Keefe doubled in his last at bat. This time pops it up. Infield converging on it. Ash Roberts can't make the play. Came a long way. Ran hard for it from the outset, but just couldn't get his glove around the ball. That's going to be a Dave O'Keefe leadoff single. The right fielder Sam Prella will step in and he'll take ball one from Adam Brown. Marlins will be looking to add to their total. None out here with a runner aboard in the top of the fourth. That one gets away for Brown. It's going to be a hit by pitch. So first and second, none out. Third baseman Parker Robinson steps in. Squares to the bunt. Takes it away. Back door. Back door to one. Had a leaping Sam Prella trying to get back to the base over Ash Roberts. Chris Corey's going to come out and ask the question on a possible interference. Asking why he didn't slide. Jumping over a fielder is the conventional way to avoid a collision, so there's going to be a conversation between the umpires in the middle of the diamonds. The longer they talk about it, you think there might be a reversal in the decision. But no, decision will stand, so it'll be safe at first. Always a contentious issue. Should you or should you not slide? Good throw by Maeda. Ash Roberts just having a tough time handling it over there. So ball one from Parker. Marlins playing small ball here. Parker squares it around, gets it down this time. One play to first base. Zach Newbold is over there to take the feed from Ash Roberts, and that'll be the sack bunt from Parker Robinson, moving his runners over into scoring position. So runners at second and third now for Dan Willings, the catcher. First pitch just falling inside for ball one. And a big swing and a miss from Willings. 1 ball and a strike now for Adam Brown. Pulls that one down the third baseline, but it won't stay fair. Mikey Amir cleaning it up in foul territory. That'll be a ball and 2 strike for Willings. Willings pokes that one, but it's going to get out foul. Still a ball and 2 strike for the catcher. Ground into a fielder's choice in the second inning in his first at bat of the day. One for 3 on the season in 2 appearances for Willings. That ball's going to be lifted into centre field. Adam O'Neill parking underneath it. Makes the catch. Big throw. Big strong throw from Adam. Won't allow the runner from third to score. That's a good bit of defence from the Manly side, preventing the run from scoring. Adam O'Neill, of course, former prospect in the New York Mets organisation and first grade pitcher with the Eagles. So has a very strong arm from centre field. So 2 out. That's going to be the pitcher, Chris Goss. 1 hit in his 4 at-bats in 2 appearances. And he takes a swing and miss at the first one. So Brown ahead now, no balls and 2 strikes with that swing and miss from Goss. 1 pitch away from end of this inning and getting out of this mini jam. And get the Manly Eagles offense back in action. And he does that with the swing and miss. So after the top of the 4th, Central Coast 1, Manly Eagles yet to score. It'll be Ben Sutton, Ash Roberts and Leo Matsuo coming up to get the job done for the Eagles. So Ben Sutton down on strikes to get the fourth inning, bottom of the fourth underway. And he takes the first pitch from Chris Goss for a called strike one. Goss working very efficiently with some very important first pitch strikes. And that one is also in for a strike. Ash Roberts fouling that one off. 0-2. And takes the 0-2 for a ball. 1 ball and 2 strikes. That ball getting away behind Ash Roberts. So it is Pink Hope Ladies' Day at the ballpark today. A very big welcome to Jess from Pink Hope. Jess, tell us a bit about Pink Hope.
Thanks for having me. Pink Hope is a charity that focuses on preventative health, and it provides women with information to be able to assess, manage and reduce their risk of breast and ovarian cancer.
As Ash Roberts goes down on strikes there. It's great to have you here, Jess, today. How did you get involved with Pink Hope?
Yeah, so I'm an ambassador for Pink Hope because I think it's really important that people know about their family history. Just like Angelina Jolie, I found out that I had the BRCA gene, which meant I had a higher risk of developing breast and ovarian cancer.
As Leo Matsuo steps in for his second at bat and he takes ball 1. Tell us about some of the work that Pink Hope does.
So Pink Hope provide an online community for women that have high risk of developing these types of cancers and women with personalised support for these at-risk women.
And your own experience?
Yeah, so 6 months after I found out I had the BRCA gene, I was actually diagnosed with breast cancer. So I consider myself to be really lucky because I knew I had the gene. I could actually do something about it, and my prognosis was good.
And I guess with a lot of different breast cancer charities and support systems, how does Pink Hope
differ?
Yeah. from all the others?
So I guess Pink Hope is really about preventing young people or people that know they have the gene from actually going on to develop cancer. So a lot of people have risk-reducing surgeries or certain medications so that if they know they have a higher risk, they won't go on to develop it.
Leo Matsuo there pulling the ball into the left field corner, wrapping around the third base bag, and he's going to be aboard with a 2-out double. The Eagles looking to get something started here, getting on the board in the 4th inning. What are some of the key things that women have got to be aware of? Obviously, at the early stages, obviously you don't know you have it until something happens. So, what are kind of some of the symptoms? Or
yes, I guess the most important thing is to know your family history. I didn't have any signs or symptoms that I had a breast cancer that I could have had for a 6-month period without knowing, because mine couldn't actually be felt. It was only detected on an MRI. So the most important thing I think is to know about your family history, and if you have a mother, grandmother, relative, auntie, that kind of thing that has had breast or ovarian cancer, it's worth speaking to your GP about what your risk may be. And Pink Hope also have some tools on their website where you can actually enter your details and see what your risk may be.
What are the numbers like with Pink Hope, and how many people do they help? Do they support?
Yeah, so they have an online community of over 200,000 people.
That's a lot.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
so they do some really fantastic work on a really small with a really small team to be able to support such a huge amount of women.
As Kazu Maeda in this battle right here, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Leo Matsuo representing the tying run over at second base. How can people get involved with Pink Hope?
So the best place to start is probably checking out their website or their Instagram page. They put some really great content on their Instagram page, and they also have online support groups through Facebook as well that you can ask any questions that you may have or get advice from other women in similar situations.
So there's a website there, pinkhope.org.au/get involved/donate. Jess, thanks for coming out today.
Thank you for having me.
Hopefully we've raised some good funds for Pink Hope.
Yes, absolutely.
And it's certainly a nice day here at the ballpark. And hopefully we can see plenty of Manly runs for the rest of the day.
Yes, go Manly.
Thanks, Jess.
Thank you.
Kazumata going deep into this count. Doesn't want to leave Leo stranded out there. Big opportunity for Manly to tie this ball game up. But Chris Goss holds strong and he gets Kazu to swing and miss. Leo Matsuo will be stranded on second base. So after 4 innings complete, this is Central Coast Marlins 1. Your Manly Eagles yet to score on the Procar Automotive scoreboard. And don't forget you can get involved with Pink Hope. So jump onto their website, make a donation and find out how you can make a difference with breast cancer and ovarian cancer. So it'll be Flynn Khan to get the things started off here. Top of the 5th inning. Central Coast holding on to a 1-0 lead. That one run coming in the second inning. Adam Brown back out for his fifth inning of work. And he starts fleeing calm with a called strike. Adam Brown, 58 pitches through his first 4 innings. We're looking to get a quick one here. As that breaking ball just falls into the dirt a little bit earlier. 1 ball and a strike now for Khan. That ball hit to Mikey Amir at third base. Clean pickup, toss, and tag by Ash Roberts. And that'll be the first out of this inning. So back to the top of the lineup. Centre fielder Mitchell Pearce singled on the first pitch of the game and then struck out on his second at bat. And lines it straight back to Adamo Brown. So we said Brown wanted a quick inning. He's certainly working towards that here in the top of the fifth. Pearce, the second out of this inning. Jack Stevenson now, the shortstop. Brown spikes that one and it collects Stevenson in the foot, so he'll be aboard. We'll go to Jay Andrews. Very dangerous Jay Andrews. Fly ball and a strikeout so far today. Stevenson, a base running threat over at first base. 1 for 2 so far on the season. And that is in there for strike 1. That pickup attempt's thrown away. It's going to get into right field. Trent Nickel chasing it down. Jack Stevenson's turning around second, heading over to third base, but the throw won't come back in time. It's not Jay Andrews. It's the third grade leadoff, Luke Jacobs. Pinch hitting for Andrews here. So the Marlins with a second run, 90 feet away over at third base. And Brown just misses that one. 1 ball and 1 strike. They pitch in for ball 2. So 2 balls and 1 strike for Jacobs. Fouls that one up and over, out of play. 2-2 now for Jacobs. Brown 1 out away from getting this over done with. Another foul. Jacobs going deep into this count. Not going to give his out up easily. Adam Brown 1 pitch away from getting this one finished. No one warming up for either time in either bullpen. And that pitch hit to a charging Brad Zorn, picks it up, fires across, throws a strike, and that will end the top of the 5th inning. The Eagles defence holding strong. Central Coast 1, lead Manly 0, heading into the bottom of the 5th. So Mikey Amir steps up. He was a defensive replacement for Chris Corey in the top of the 4th inning. And he'll take a Chris Goss strike to get this started. Bottom of the 5th here. Central Coast leading 1-0. Grounds that ball to Stevenson, a short. Aquatic hop ties up Stevenson. Ball goes through his legs. Mikey Amir will be aboard to start the bottom of the 5th here. That one officially ruled an error by the scorers. Chris Corey going to his bench. One of his under 18s in the form of Max Milner will come into pinch run for the Eagles. So Mikey Amir getting the job done, getting himself on base. And Max Milner will be charged with scoring the tying run in this one. So Zach Newbold steps in. He checks his swing. And a great running catch by Sam Priller in right field, robbing Zach Newbold of a hit. Hit it very hard, but Sam Priller ran it down and recorded the first out here in the bottom of the fifth inning. Max Milner, some good base shot in there, made sure he knew where the ball was before he committed himself to going any further, and he got back to first base without a throw. So 2-0 here for Nickel. Looking to advance this runner of Max Milner. Get on base himself. He represents the go-ahead run in this 1-0 ball game. Pick-off attempt over to first base, keeping Milner close. Max Milner 1 for 1 in stolen bases in the under-18 competition. That pitch is going to be outside for ball 3, so 3-0 here for Trent Nickel. One pitch away from getting his job done and getting himself aboard. Brad Zorn waiting on deck. And that's going to be in for a strike. 3 balls and a strike now for Nickel. Chris Goss sets. That ball's going to be fought off the hands by Nickel, but foul. It's a good pitch there by Goss. Feels the count up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Another check over to Milner at first base. And Trent Nickel will take ball 4. So runners at first and second. More importantly, the tying run in scoring position. And the lineup will turn over for the shortstop, Brad Zorn. No movement from the Central Coast bench at this stage, so no pitching change coming from the bench. Not to say it won't come from the field at some point. Brad Zorn walked in his last at-bat. We'll be looking for a similar result this time around. And he takes ball 1 up and in. Milner with his lead at second base. That pitch in there for a strike. A ball and strike now for Zorn. Two and 1 now for Zorn as he takes that pitch up. That ball down and in. Ball 3. 3 balls and a strike. Count well in favour of Zorn. And Zorn fouls that one off over the right side And that's going to fill the count as well. Young fan over in foul territory making a diving play at that one, but not able to catch it, much to the enjoyment of the spectators in attendance here this afternoon at Aquatic Ballpark. As Zorn pokes that one, it's going to be caught by Preller in right field. He's made 2 great plays this inning. That is the second out. And if the Marlins are to win this game, their defense will certainly be the reason for it. A very good catch by Sam Preller in right field to record the out of Bradley Zorn. Big shout out to minor league legend John Farrett watching in on the live stream. Adam O'Neill batting with 2 outs. Also Melissa Hathwaite watching in from Hawaii, currently on a work holiday, reminding us that we haven't fixed that camera behind the plate with the chain in front. We'll get that fixed at first grade, Melissa, don't worry. Just a little bit busy with this game moving along very quickly, so we'll get it fixed in due course. And that ball inside for ball 2, now 2 balls and 1 strike for O'Neill. 3 straight balls, I'm informed. So, load of bases opportunity potentially coming up for O'Neill here. And that one's in for a strike. So 3-1 now. Ben Sutton waiting on deck. As Adam O'Neill fouls that one off. So a third straight 3-2 count for Chris Goss. Runners will be going on this pitch. That's very interesting. I was talking to a couple of people, and you rarely see a 3-2 hit. So let's see what happens here. And that's going to be down and in. With the runners going, you either see a strikeout or a walk. In this occasion, it's going to be the walk. Adam O'Neill not forced to swing the bat, and he will load the bases. And it's going to bring up the designated hitter, Ben Sutton. Just Gummy O, g'day. Manly is life, Manly is love. Let's go, Manly. Come on, Manly. So Terry Pearce is going to have a chat with Chris Goss. Talk about what to do with Ben Sutton here, with loaded bases and 2 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Goss's pitch count up to 88 pitches. Pink Hope Ladies' Day at the ballpark. The ladies enjoying their champagne and cheese and bickies up in the clubhouse, as well as free mini manicures from our lovely sponsor, Kelly Steinhauer from Nails by Kel. She's also a member of our very successful women's team to date, 9-2 on the season, and another good victory on Friday night, 14-2 over the Penrith Leopards. So if you're not at the ballpark today, unfortunate, you don't get your nails painted. But if you do have an event coming up, make sure you jump on and check out Nails by Curl. Does an absolute outstanding job and also is a nail artist to the stars. So Sutton takes ball 1. And ball 2 is down in the dirt, so very favourable count for Suts. Big opportunity to cash in these base runners. You've got the speedy Adam O'Neill at first. He'll definitely be looking to score on anything in the gap, especially this one, but it's going to go to Sam Preller. He's going to make all 3 outs on this one, and he's going to keep the Central Coast lead 1-0 after the 5th inning. The Rallies team are a small, proud team who take a proud, personal, professional approach to the sale, installation and maintenance of the revolutionary rail glider systems. The Ralliest Rail Glider is the most innovative and unique inclined access product on the market, offering a smooth, quiet and rapid access to all properties on an incline. The Ralliest Rail Glider is the up-to-date solution for home access anywhere. To find out more, visit www.ralliest.com.au. Proud sponsors of Manly Eagles Baseball. So defensive change here for the Eagles with Max Miller pinch running for Mikey Amir. That'll see a 5-9, 9-5 swap with Milner going to right field and Trent Nickel coming back into third base. David O'Keefe will leave things off here in the top of the 6th inning, and he started with a curveball offering from Adam Brown for strike 1, and the second pitch is hit into right field. So the last 3 balls that have been hit have gone into right field. All 3 have been caught by the respective right fielders, and O'Keefe will be the first out of the top of the 6th inning. Fly balls have been the order of the day so far in this game as well as the 3rd grade game. Very busy outfielders. Talking about very busy outfielders, Sam Preller steps in, made all 3 outs in the previous defensive inning for the Marlins. And he will lift one foul. One ball and 1 strike now for Preller. Adam Brown fires in a strike for strike 2 now. So Preller behind, a ball and 2 strikes. And he gets Sam Preller swinging for the second out of this inning. With a tall third baseman, Parker Robinson, to bat with 2 outs. the first pitch from Brown to Robinson is a called strike, so Adam Brown ahead in this one. Up to 74 pitches so far. That one's going to be grounded to Ash Roberts. Plays it on his knees, picks it up, steps on the base. And a 7-pitch inning for Adam Brown will bring the Eagles back up to bat with Ash Roberts, Leo Matsuo and Kazume Ida due up, with the Eagles trailing 1-0 after the top of the 6th. So Ash Roberts down on strikes to start the bottom of the 6th inning for the Eagles. Leo Matsuo now 1 ball, 1 strike. He'll be looking to replicate his previous at bat when he doubled into the left field corner. Fouls that one on top of the first base dugout, and he's behind 1 ball and 2 strikes. That's going to be a foul off the foot of Matsuo. Umpires will have to confer on this, but it was very clear from our angle right in front of us. Matsuo jumping around in considerable pain from the outset. And the umpires will confirm it as a foul. So Matsuo, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Chris Goss 2 pitches away from 100 on the day, and he gets Matsuo swinging, second out of the inning. So the catcher, Kazu Maeda, couple of strikeouts on the day. This will be Chris Goss's 100th pitch, which is down and in for ball 1. And that pitch will be up for ball 2. So 2-0 for Maeda. And that one away for ball 3. So 3 balls for Kazu. And that pitch missing on the outside corner, so it's going to be a 2-out walk for Maeda. And he will represent the tying run in this ball game. Kazu will take off his elbow guard, his ankle guard, his thumb guard, and his batting gloves. Hand them over to first base coach Jason Tabor. It'll be Max Milner stepping in. His first plate appearance since coming in as a pinch runner. And he swings and misses at the first pitch. So bottom of the 6th, 2 out. Tying run at first base. And a check over there to first, keeping Maeda close. Max Milner behind, no balls and 1 strike. That ball up and in for ball 1. A ball and a strike now for Max Milner. Big at bat here for the Eagles. He will get that off the hands. It's going to fall into the glove of the second baseman, and that will retire the side in the top of the 6th. The Eagles will have one more chance in the bottom of the 7th to try and steal this one. But until then, the Manly Eagles trail the Central Coast 1-0. St. Willings will lead it off for the Marlins. Top of the 7th action. Adam Brown back out there. 1-run ball game. Eagles will be looking to shut it down right here, then go and score 2 in the bottom of the 7th and win the game. As Adam Brown fires that one in, but it breaks too early and it'll be 1 ball and no strikes. And that one's in for a called strike 1, so 1 ball and 1 strike. That pitch dropping in, ball 2, 2 balls and 1 strike. As Willings asks for time. Willings lifts that one. Looks like it will go foul. Trent Nickel chases after it, but it will fall into the Manly Eagles bullpen. Eagles warming up behind the third base dugout. So 2 balls and 2 strikes for Brown. That pitch just up. Fills the count up. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Central Coast got a man up in the bullpen. Possible to come out and throw the 7th or be on standby should Chris Goss run into trouble. Brown sets atop the mound. 3-2 pitch. Fouled off by Willings. So Dan Willings about to face his 7th pitch of this at bat. Brown taking a long time up there to set. That ball spiking in the dirt, getting all the way to the fence, but Dan Willings won't advance any further, and it'll be a lead-off walk for the Marlins. A very important insurance run for them. We'll bring up the pitcher, Chris Goss. Double play will come in very handy here for the Eagles. Their infield has been very tight all day. Pitcher squares to bunt but pulls it back and takes strike 1. Got struck out and singled to centre field, and he's only 2 at-bats today. Trent Nickel ready for the bunt. Check back over at first. Willings gets back in there. That ball down and in for ball 1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. I've got a feeling this game's going to go overtime. So first grade might have a small delay. Another check over at first. Willings without a stolen base on the season so far. nonetheless making sure that he doesn't take any greater advantage than he needs to. Foul ball by Goss. Ash Roberts ran a mile for it. Got to the fence, just out of reach. Brown ahead in this count now. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Pitched low, so ball 2. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Evens the count on Goss. So Brown sets to deliver the 2-2 pitch. Runner going, curveball, strikes him out swinging. And Willings will steal second base, so that'll be his first stolen base on the season. And he has a very important insurance run in scoring position. Kazu Maeda not able to get up and make the throw. Had to make sure that he completed the strikeout. As Chris Corey is going to come out and have a chat to his pitcher, Adam Brown. Looking to go the distance in this one. Brown up to 87 pitches today. Shook his hand, but it wasn't the handshake most managers make. So he's going to leave Brown out there for the 9-hitter, Flynn Khan. So the double play out of order now. 1 out, top of the 7th inning. Khan grounded into a fielder's choice. And then a ground ball to Mikey and Mir at third base. And a good start for Brown with a called strike on Flynn Khan. Brown just checking the runner over at second base. No balls and a strike on Khan. Grounds the ball back up the middle. Adam O'Neill charging on into it, picks it up. Central Coast hold the runner at third base. They know full well the extent of Adam's arm. They don't need to risk it on this occasion. They now have runners on the corners. With only 1 out. And Chris Corey is going to go to his bullpen, albeit Leo Matsuo in left field. Adam O'Neill's afternoon is done. 89 pitches, 6 1/3 innings. Four strikeouts, but unfortunately is the pitcher of record, and it will be in line for the loss if the Eagles can't score the winning runs in the bottom half of this inning. So changes for the Eagles. Leo Matsuo will come to the mound from left field. Scott Clohesi will take the designated hitter's role over from Ben Sutton and come into the field in left field. Leo needing 2 outs to end the threat here from the Marlins and give the Eagles a chance to score 2 runs in the bottom half of this 7th inning. So Matsuo, 15.2 innings of work, has shared the load with Adam Brown this season. Has a 5.17 ERA with 1 loss against his name through his 7 appearances, 2 of those being starts. 10 runs on 10 hits, only 9 earned, but 17 walks and 8 hit by pitch and 15 strikeouts on his line so far this season. He started in the best way possible with and then we've got to run down to third base. It's going to be a suicide squeeze, but it hasn't come off. There's going to be a run here for the Marlins. Trent Nickel not able to get the ball back over the runner to Leo, who was standing near home plate. And the Marlins have extended their advantage 2-0 here in the top of the 7th inning. It was a squeeze that Pearce didn't get down, resulted in a rundown. Trent Nickel just balked too much and didn't quite get the ball to where it needed to be to get the out. And the Marlins now have a 2-run advantage late in this ball game. Only 1 out, and Flynn Kahn now at second base. So Pearce takes that ball down, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Looking to add on to the Central Coast score line. Give his team a 3-0 lead and make it very impossible. Well, not very impossible, but a lot harder for the Eagles to steal this one late in the ball game. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And that pitch down, so it's going to fill the count. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Not entirely bad thing if he does walk him here, which he does. It does put the double play back in order. Stevenson grounding out twice. And a hit by pitch, so a very possible double play opportunity here for the Eagles to finish this one. Jack Stevenson was hit by a pitch in his last at-bat, grounded into a double play, and also back to the pitcher. So officially 0 for 2. And now behind no balls and 1 strike after fouling off the first pitch. That pitch up and away, ball 1, 1 ball and a strike now. That pitch in for strike 2, so a ball and 2 strikes. That ball lifted into centre field. A long run for Adam O'Neill, and he takes it on the slide, and that will be the second out of the inning. Nice running catch by the Manly centre fielder. So with 2 out, it'll be Luke Jacobs. There's a pinch hitter 2 innings ago. And Leo Matsuo starts with a called strike. 2 out, 2 runners on for Jacobs. 2-0 ball game in the top of the last inning here. First grade likely to start at about 2:45 this afternoon as Luke Jacobs takes the second offering from Matsuo for a strike. Now behind no balls and 2 strikes. Grounded out to the shortstop Zorn in his only at bat. And lifts this ball into left field. It's going to get down. It's going to be a long chase of Scott Klahesi. It's going to score Khan from second base, and it's also going to score Mitchell Pearce. No, they've held him up at third. So a good hustle by Scott Klahesi into the corner, but it's another very big, important insurance run for the Marlins. A double into the corner for Luke Jacobs. Terry Pearce holding up Mitchell at third. Not wanting to take any risks here. Wants everyone possible as they have been a premium in this game. Central Coast scoring in the second and now twice here in the 7th. And a big swing and miss by O'Keefe. For the first strike of this at-bat. On the swing. On the call rather. So no balls and 2 strikes. O'Keefe doubled to second, leading off the second. And this time lifts the ball into right field. It's going to get down to Milner, and it's going to score 2 more runs in the form of Pearce and Jacobs. And the Marlins are going to get out to a 5-0 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. Two RBI single into right field for O'Keefe. And you would think the Marlins have locked this ball game up. As Sam Preller fouls off the first pitch he sees from Leo Matsuo. Ground ball to Newbold. He goes the short way to Zorn for the third out of the inning, but not before the Marlins score 4. Take full advantage of the opportunities that were given to them. It's going to be an uphill battle for the Eagles. Not an impossible one, but it's going to take a lot of grit to get it done. After the top of the 7th, it's the Central Coast Marlins 5, Manly Eagles 0. So defensive changes for the Marlins here in the bottom of the 7th inning. They've gone to their under 18 pitcher in Parker Robinson, moving over from third base. Chris Goss going to first base. And it's going to be the second baseman, Zach Newbold, to lead things off here. The Eagles needing 5 for the tie and 6 for the win. Zach Newbold with a very strong at-bat in his previous appearance. Was one of 3 catches in that inning that Sam Prella ran down, which kept the game at 1-0 in favour of the Marlins. And it's a first pitch ball for Newbold.
Put your head on the ball. Track it. All the way to the bat.
So Zach Newbold behind a ball and 2 strikes. And that pitch just getting in for ball 2. So 2-2. Even in the count here. Very important lead off at bat here for the Manly Eagles. That ball hit over to third base to Jacobs, picks it up, throws it across the diamonds. And that's the first out of this inning. So 1 away here. Trent Nichols step in. And he'll take the first pitch offering from Robinson down in the dirt for ball 1. And he lifts that ball high and deep, but the centre fielder Pierce is underneath it. And that's the second out of the inning. The Marlins 1 out away from this very big victory, 5-0 over the Eagles as it stands at the moment. So Brad's on with 2 out here. Looking to begin a very unlikely rally, but not impossible. I've definitely seen stranger things in baseball. And he is ahead, 2 balls and no strikes here with 2 out. G'day to Scott Deeks. He played in the 3rd grade game earlier. Voicing his appreciation for me noticing his pink bat. Tells me that he lost his mum to cancer in 2015. So always brings it out in special occasions. As today is Pink Hope Ladies' Day. So Zorn now, 2 balls and a strike. With that foul back to the net. And that pitch is in for strike 2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. The Marlins 1 strike away from wrapping this one up. And the curveball there from Robinson. Hit over to Stevenson, a shot. Thrown across the diamond, and that will do it. The Central Coast Marlins 5 have defeated your Manly Eagles none. An absolute pitcher's duel for most of this game out here today. The Manly bats not able to fire and get on the board. Adam Brown was very strong through his 6 1/3 inning of work. Leo Matsuo coming in and giving up a couple of runs late in the ball game, making it out of reach for the Eagles. But a very good display by the Marlins. And a very well-deserved winners. Brown striking out 5 on the day, only 1 earned run. Chris Goss going 6 for the Marlins. And Parker Robinson coming out to close it out. Doesn't get the save, but certainly played his part. Sam Preller excellent in right field, making 3 catches in a very important 5th inning for the Marlins. The Eagles will drop to 4 wins, 4 losses and a draw on the season. And they will face a very resurgent Balcombe Hills side who are starting to find some form leading into the Christmas break. They knocked over MacArthur yesterday 10-1 out at Gilchrist Oval. So it'll be a very big game next week for both teams. We'll be back in about 15-20 minutes for the 1st grade game. I'm going to go grab some lunch. I'm going to say hello to a couple of people. Find out who's going to join me in the commentary booth for the 1st grade game. And we'll be back at about 3 rather, for the first pitch in our 1st grade game between the visiting Central Coast Marlins and your Manly Eagles.